On today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Hasbro Iron Man 2 comic series, Ivan Whiplash Vanko. Whiplash does include whips. Should be expected, but he does come with whips. He also does come with 3 armor cards and figure stand. Standard packaging. Again, you've probably seen this packaging numerous times. And on the back of the package, other figures that you can get from the comic series. Ultimate Iron Man. We got War Machine and Mandarin. As for the read-up on Whiplash, Ivan Whiplash Vanko, it says, when his village was destroyed, Ivan Vanko swore revenge against the man believed responsible, Iron Man. He labored for months over the single piece of armor the attacker left behind, reverse engineering it into a powerful weapon system designed to destroy the Iron Man armor and the man inside. There you go. What I am going to do is take a bit of a break. I'm going to get this opened up, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at Ivan Whiplash Vanko. Stay tuned, there is more on the way. As with every other Iron Man card, or every man figure, Ivan Vanko comes with 3 cards. As you can see, the base card, it's got the upper torso, got the lower legs, and the upper arms, the only arms on the figure, the arms and the head. You can take those cards if you wish, or you can just throw them away if you really want to. If you are somebody who keeps everything with the figure, you can put it into the display base, and you can have it like so. They don't tend to sit very well in the display base, but it's there. Once again, even though they tease you with a flat front here, there is no indication of a name. So I suppose if anything, at least you can use these for whatever 3 3/4 inch scale figures you have. Doesn't have to necessarily be Iron Man. Just put that down. Whiplash also does come with 2 whips that you can actually take. And inside the arm here, let's zoom into the figure. We'll get into the figure in a second. See right in the figure's arm there, you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but it's not just simply a peg, it kind of looks like the letter T. Or it looks like an arrow. That's probably a better analogy. Well, you're basically going to take those and line them up. I want to make sure I got the right pegs here. And you're going to just peg it into place. Spot says that, is it easier said than done, maybe? It's a small work. Spot's got large fingers. Not the easiest as well to do on camera, let me add as well. I could have easily done this off camera. Why not? Why not watch Spot fumble for the next little while, right? I know you guys all thrive. You guys all enjoy that so much. Not all of you. Some of you do, though. Like, oh, look at Spot struggling. I love it. I love it. Where's my Mountain Dew? Whenever I see Spot struggle, I always think to myself, I could really use a Mountain Dew. They go hand in hand. This side, however, you'll see it's more like a half moon. Oh, and it fell out. You know what, maybe what I will do is, after all that, I'm going to take a bit of a break. Be right back. Well, it took some finessing and some cussing, but Spot was able to get the whips into his wrists, as you can see right there. They seem to stay in there relatively well, but I think to be on the safe side, Spot might very well just glue them in there and call it a day. Now that they're in, let's actually have a look at Whiplash. I like this design of the character. Yeah, it's comic series after all, but I like the design of the figure. The face, I would say, is a good, it's almost as if Street Fighter Vega, the character Vega from Street Fighter, and Jason Voorhees had a love child. This basically would be what he looks like. He's got a ponytail, he's wearing a mask, but the mask is very uber Jason-like from Jason X, if I can say that. It's pretty nicely detailed as well. He's also got some armor going on here. He's actually got armor all over him. Now there are pieces that won't come off, like the wrist gauntlets don't seem to come off. The mask obviously won't come off. And it looks like the lower torso piece won't come off. But the leg, there's a leg piece here that keeps getting in the way. And I might just take this off, like so. You can leave it on if you want. Nobody says that you have to take it off. But Spots is showing you that it can't take off. Because, I mean, as it stands, this piece does flop around. It doesn't really stay on there very well. So I'm just going to take it off for now. I might put it on later. The chest armor you could also take off as well, but it would involve taking the head off, which is just on a peg, just on a ball joint here. And you can take this armor off. Now it's scaled appropriately, so if you wanted to put it on a 3 3/4 inch figure like a G.I. Joe, you could do that if you wanted to. Underneath, you've got yourself basically just a topless, a very muscular topless Whiplash Vanko. It's pretty nicely detailed, I have to say that. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, there's not really a lot of color. I'm just going to put this back on. There's not really a lot of color in the figure, aside from your standard silver. It also looks like this guy, the guy from Wildcats. Can't remember what his name is, but he's got green hair too. It's a neat looking figure because, again, with the benefit of some of the Iron Man figures, if you really didn't like him for Iron Man, and you picked up maybe Whiplash here, but you don't really follow a lot of the Iron Man comics and whatnot, you could easily just incorporate this figure into like your G.I. Joes or your Marvel Universe. In your imagination, again, you could just pretend like this figure is a bounty hunter. Maybe he's from outer space. I don't know. You can make up really anything you want. I mean, he could be like a Cobra experiment. Again, I'm just using examples for you. In the way of his articulation, being that his head is on a ball joint, doesn't really move up and down too well, but does move left and right pretty easily. He's got a pin and socket shoulder. Does rotate all the way around. His elbows, his forearms, I should say, rotate all the way around. He's bent at the elbow. It doesn't look like there's anything, maybe a slight bit in the hand. The torso is on a ball joint. The legs are on a pin and socket. They move back and forth, in and out. Bend at the knee. Actually, you know what? It looks like there's a 2-point bend in the knee. And I don't know if there's anything in the foot. No, it doesn't look like there's anything in the foot. So just basically from the knee, and then that's it. Still, and also can't go wrong with the whips. Even though you can't bend them or anything like that, they're pre-sculpted. But I think still a really nice touch. The comic series, Ivan Whiplash Vanko. I still find this piece kind of just moves around too much. I'm just going to probably leave it off. But overall, a pretty good figure. And as Spot mentioned, if you really don't want to use it for your if you're playing, if you're a kid that plays with his toys or an adult plays with his toys, it doesn't really have to necessarily be a figure for Iron Man. Again, sky's the limit. You could really just pretend it to be anything. As just a standalone figure, it's really neat, and I really, really like the overall look of him. Whiplash, the comic series Whiplash, I think I'm going to give him an 8. Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Iron Man 2 comic series Ivan Whiplash Vanko. A pretty good figure if you ask me. Thanks for watching, guys. And as always, I will see you guys next time.